My beloved child, today is December 23rd, and this date is not ordinary for you. Archangel Michael is stepping forward with urgency, authority, and divine timing. Hear this clearly. I order you to open this now. I am trying to reach you. This is not symbolic fluff, not imagination, not coincidence. This message is aimed directly at you, and the house you are living in is part of the reason this warning has arrived. There is a reason your spirit felt a pull to this moment. There is a reason you didn't scroll away. Archangel Michael is not whispering today. He is commanding. Heaven has been attempting to reach you quietly for some time, but now the tone has shifted. Something has crossed a threshold, and silence is no longer permitted. Archangel Michael says, the secret courier is coming to your house. This is not just a delivery of paper or a box. This is a carrier of information, revelation, and consequence. What is arriving holds answers, but also exposure. It carries truth that will change how you see someone close to you, and possibly how you see your own safety, decisions, or future. Do not misunderstand this word. Secret does not always mean hidden from the world. It often means hidden from you until the right moment. Heaven has restrained this knowledge for your protection. But now, December 23rd marks the release point. The courier has already been set in motion. Archangel Michael stands as a warrior and protector, and he does not arrive without cause. He says this clearly. Ignoring this can be troublesome. That word is deliberate. It means delay will complicate what could have been resolved peacefully. It means avoidance will turn clarity into confusion. It means what you refuse to open willingly may force itself open another way. This is why the instruction is sharp. Open now. Beloved, this message connects directly to your home. Your house is not just a building, it is a spiritual territory. Something within its walls have been misaligned. It may involve paperwork, communication, a conversation you've been postponing, or a truth someone has been hiding to keep the peace. But Archangel Michael says peace built on silence is fragile, and it is about to crack. You may have felt unusual restlessness recently. Maybe sleep had been interrupted. Maybe you sensed that something is off but couldn't name it. That is not anxiety. It is discernment waking up. The angelic realm has been pressing on your awareness, preparing you so that when this courier arrives, physically or symbolically, you are not shocked, only awakened. Archangel Michael says, I am trying to reach you. This line matters more than you think. It implies resistance, distraction, or delay, not from heaven, but from the noise around you. Responsibilities, emotions, people's opinions, fear of change. All of it has muffled the signal. So today, the message cuts through everything. This is not about punishment. This is about protection through truth. There is also a timing warning embedded here. December 23rd is a crossing point. What arrives before the end of this cycle determines how the next season unfolds. If you open, receive, and respond with courage, the outcome shifts in your favor. If you ignore, someone else's decision may decide things for you. Archangel Michael is standing at the door with his sword lowered, not raised. That means mercy is still available, but his posture is firm. He will not keep knocking forever. Pay attention to signs over the next hours and days. A knock, a message, an unexpected visit, an email, a letter, a conversation that starts casually but turns serious. Do not dismiss it as random. The courier does not always announce themselves as such. You are being asked to act, not panic. To be alert, not afraid. To open your eyes, not run. There is strength rising in you right now, even as you listen. That strength is not accidental. It is being supplied so you can handle what comes next. Archangel Michael's presence means one more thing. Whatever is being revealed cannot overpower you. You are not being exposed. You are being equipped. Someone else's hidden intentions, delayed honesty, or secret movement is coming into the light so you can finally stand on solid ground. Do not ignore this message. Do not delay obedience. Do not assume later is safer than now. This is the opening moment. What comes next will explain why the courier matters, who is connected to it, and what decision heaven is waiting for you to make. Chosen one, let me speak to you gently but firmly now, because what Archangel Michael revealed earlier was only the surface. There is a deeper layer to this message, and it explains why the courier matters so much and why the instruction to open cannot be delayed. Heaven is not reacting late. Heaven is intervening right on time. Archangel Michael shows that what is approaching your house carries a dual nature. On one side, it brings clarity you have been asking God for in silence. On the other side, it exposes a situation that has been quietly shaping your environment without your full awareness. This is why your home keeps appearing in this message. The house represents stability, safety, routine, and personal boundaries. Something has been operating within those boundaries that no longer belongs there. You may have trusted someone's words without questioning their actions. Or you may have postponed confronting a situation because it felt uncomfortable or disruptive. Archangel Michael says the delay was understandable, but it cannot continue. What had been hidden is not necessarily dramatic on the surface, but its long-term impact would have been heavy if left untouched. That is why heaven intervenes before damage multiplies. This courier is connected to accountability. It may come through a person who suddenly tells the truth. It may arrive as information that contradicts what you were told before. It may even come as an inner realization that finally aligns scattered puzzle pieces. When it arrives, you will recognize it, not because it feels pleasant, but because it feels certain. Truth carries a weight that cannot be imitated. Archangel Michael also wants you to understand this clearly. The message is not meant to scare you, but to position you correctly. Fear causes people to shut doors. Discernment teaches people which door to open. That is why the command was not prepare or wait, but open now. There is a narrow window where cooperation produces peace. There is also a relational layer here. Someone connected to your household, directly or indirectly, has been carrying information they avoided sharing. Not all silence is malicious, but silence can still create harm. Archangel Michael does not accuse, he reveals. Once revealed, the responsibility shifts. What you do with the truth becomes the turning point. Do not underestimate your spiritual authority in this moment. You are not powerless. Heaven does not warn those it plans to abandon. The very fact that Archangel Michael addresses you means you are capable of responding wisely. Your role is not to confront emotionally, but to stand grounded. Calm strength will be your shield. Pay attention to how conversations unfold soon. Notice patterns breaking. Someone may suddenly change the tone. Someone may appear nervous or overly helpful. Someone may rush to explain without being asked. These are not coincidences. Truth destabilizes what was built on concealment. This is also a season of alignment. Once this door is opened, other areas of your life will begin to reorganize. Delays will lift. Confusion will reduce. Decisions that felt foggy will become clear. This is why ignoring the courier would not simply pause things, it would complicate them. Avoidance multiplies knots. Truth unties them. And now hear this carefully. Archangel Michael emphasizes personal responsibility here, not guilt. You are not being blamed for what was hidden. But once light arrives, neutrality is no longer an option. Even silence becomes a decision. Heaven trusts you enough to place this responsibility in your hands. As you continue listening, I want to pause and speak to you as the messenger of this word. If this message is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video so it reaches others who are standing at similar crossroads. Share it with someone who needs clarity right now. Leave a comment if you feel this word touching your spirit. And if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe and stay connected, because these messages are released for moments exactly like this. Your engagement helps this divine warning reach the people it is meant for. Archangel Michael says that protection is already active around you. Even if the revelation feels uncomfortable at first, no harm will overtake you. You are being surrounded so that truth arrives without destruction. This is precision, not chaos. There is one more important thing to understand. The courier does not only bring exposure, it brings instruction. Along with the truth will come a clear sense of what to do next. You will not be left guessing. The same God who reveals also guides. Your obedience will unlock peace faster than you expect. Do not rush to explain yourself. Do not rush to defend. Do not rush to fix everything at once. Open. Listen. Receive. Then act with wisdom. That sequence matters. And stay with me, because what comes next explains how to recognize the exact moment the courier arrives, and what action will shift the outcome in your favor. This is where everything connects. My dear one, as this message deepens, Archangel Michael asks you to slow your breath and steady your heart, because now we move from warning into revelation. What you are hearing is not random information layered on top of emotion. This is a carefully timed unveiling. Heaven never exposes without also providing covering, and Archangel Michael is standing watch as this next truth is released. The courier approaching your house is connected to a decision that was made without your consent. This does not mean someone intended to harm you openly, but it does mean that your voice was excluded where it should have mattered. Archangel Michael shows that this decision has been sitting quietly, gaining influence, shaping outcomes in the background. That is why the message carried urgency. What remains hidden gains power. What is open loses its grip. You may have sensed that things were shifting without explanation. Plans changed. Attitude shifted. Energy in your home felt inconsistent. These were not emotional fluctuations. They were signaled. Heaven allowed you to feel them so you would not be blindsided when truth finally arrived. You were being trained to recognize disruption before revelation. Archangel Michael now speaks with clarity. When the courier arrives, do not dismiss the first instinct that rises in you. Your discernment will activate before your logic catches up. You will feel a quiet certainty, not panic. That calm recognition is your confirmation. Do not override it with excuses or second-guessing. That is how people miss divine timing. This revelation is also about restoration of authority. Something that subtly undermined your confidence is being corrected. Someone may have assumed control where they were never assigned responsibility. Someone may have spoken on your behalf without permission. This is being addressed now, not to create conflict, but to restore order. Understand this. Archangel Michael governs boundaries. He stands at thresholds. He guards entrances. That is why the imagery of opening and doors is so strong in this message. A boundary was crossed quietly. Now it is being redrawn in light. Once that happens, peace returns quickly. There is also a financial or material undertone for some of you listening. Documents, agreements, or responsibilities tied to the house may surface. Do not fear this. Clarity protects resources. Ignorance drains them. This revelation arrives before loss, not after. That is mercy in action. Archangel Michael wants you to know that no matter who is involved, the outcome favors truth. You are not being asked to accuse. You are being asked to acknowledge. From acknowledgement flows wisdom. From wisdom flows stability. If emotions rise when the courier arrives, do not suppress them, but do not let them lead. Feel, then ground yourself. This is not a moment for reaction. It is a moment for alignment. Your restraint will speak louder than confrontation ever could. Heaven also reminds you that this exposure does not define the future. It corrects the present. Once corrected, momentum shifts rapidly. What felt stuck will move. What felt heavy will lighten. What felt delayed will accelerate. And now hear this carefully. Archangel Michael says that obedience in this moment will echo for years. One small act of courage now prevents repeated cycles later. Many people miss this and spend years revisiting the same issue in different forms. You are being offered an exit. Before we close this segment, Archangel Michael releases a seal over you. If this message is speaking to your spirit, respond in faith. Type "I receive the truth" in the comments if you are ready to open what heaven is revealing. Lesson code 914 has just been released. And now, let this flow naturally into action. I hear the Spirit say, I place this word in your path because there are others still waiting in silence. When you support this mission, you are not supporting a channel. You are opening doors for souls who are still asking heaven for clarity. Just as light is entering your house, your giving becomes light entering theirs. Scripture lives when it says that those who sow into truth reap peace in due season. This is me speaking directly to you. Your hand is not empty in this moment. It is appointed. As you release through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are responding prophetically, not financially. I declare that every seed sown here is met with protection, provision, and divine order over your household. Do not delay what obedience is stirring. Act now, and let heaven mark your response. Remain here with me. What follows will help you recognize the exact shift that confirms everything you have just heard. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael now draws your attention to what happens after the door is opened, because many people receive truth but do not understand the shift that follows it. Revelation is not the end point. It is the doorway into realignment. This is where confusion turns into direction, and where uncertainty gives way to quiet authority. Once the courier has arrived and the truth is no longer hidden, you may notice an immediate change in the atmosphere of your home. It may feel subtle at first, like a heaviness lifting or a tension releasing. That is not imagination. That is order being restored. Archangel Michael says that environments respond to truth faster than people do. Walls remember. Spaces hold energy. And when alignment returns, peace follows naturally. You may also notice that your own thoughts become clearer. Decisions that felt overwhelming begin to simplify. This is because mental fog was never about your capability. It was about missing information. Now that the missing piece is supplied, your mind can rest. Clarity does not shout. It settles. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important here. Not everyone involved will react the same way to the truth. Some will feel relief. Others may feel exposed or unsettled. Their reactions are not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to remain anchored. You are not called to manage other people's emotions. You are called to steward what hath been entrusted to you. There may be a temptation to revisit the past once everything comes into the open. Questions like, why didn't I see this earlier? Or what if I had acted sooner? May try to surface. Archangel Michael gently interrupts those thoughts. He says hindsight is not a weapon. Do not turn it into one. The timing of revelation was not delayed. It was protected. You were not late. You were preserved. Now the focus shifts forward. Archangel Michael shows that once this correction takes place, new options will appear. These options were always present, but they were inaccessible because of distortion. With distortion removed, paths open. Expect invitations, ideas, or solutions that did not exist before. This is not coincidence, it is consequence. There is also a strengthening happening within you. You may notice that you speak with more calm confidence. That is not arrogance, that is alignment. When truth stands behind you, your voice carries weight without force. People sense when someone is grounded. That grounding will now become evident. Archangel Michael emphasizes boundaries again here. After truth is revealed, boundaries must be reinforced gently but firmly. This may mean redefining roles, expectations, or access. Do not confuse boundaries with punishment. Boundaries are clarity in action. They protect what has been restored. For some of you, this will also involve forgiveness, not as an emotional rush, but as a conscious release. Forgiveness does not deny the truth. It frees you from carrying its weight. Archangel Michael says forgiveness is not weakness. It is spiritual authority exercised quietly. You may also notice an increase in discernment after this moment. Situations that once confused you will become easier to read. This is because discernment grows when it is honored. You listened. You opened. Now it sharpens. There is one more thing Archangel Michael wants you to be aware of. After exposure, there is often a brief season of adjustment. This is normal. Do not rush it. Let things settle into their new order. Stability takes root when it is not forced. Heaven also assures you that protection remains active. Nothing revealed now has the power to undo you. The purpose of this intervention was prevention, not damage control. A distinction matters. You are not recovering. You are redirecting. As you continue forward, trust what you now know. Do not seek repeated confirmation for what has already been made clear. Peace will be your indicator. If a choice aligns with peace, it aligns with truth. Archangel Michael stands watch as this phase unfolds. His presence does not withdraw once truth is revealed. It remains until order is fully restored. You are not navigating this alone. And now, prepare yourself. What comes next will explain how this revelation connects to timing beyond your house, how it affects the next season of your life, and why this moment could not have happened any earlier or later. Stay attentive. The pattern is about to become visible. Precious one, Archangel Michael now turns your attention to timing, because understanding when this happened is just as important as understanding what happened. Nothing about this moment is accidental. This revelation did not arrive early, and it did not arrive late. It arrived at the only point where it could actually change the trajectory of your life instead of merely informing it. For a long time, you were in a season of preparation without knowing it. You thought you were waiting, enduring, or simply surviving routine days. But heaven was strengthening your discernment, maturity, and emotional balance. If this truth had arrived earlier, it would have wounded you. If it had arrived later, it would have limited your options. Archangel Michael says this timing proves you were ready before you realized it. This is why the message came with authority rather than explanation. Heaven does not negotiate when alignment is required. It intervenes. And now that intervention has shifted you from vulnerability into position. You are no longer standing at the edge of uncertainty. You are standing at the center of awareness. There is also a prophetic layer to this moment that reaches beyond your home. Archangel Michael reveals that what was corrected in private will soon reflect in public outcomes. Decisions you make now will quietly influence opportunities, relationships, and paths that are about to present themselves. You may not immediately connect the dots, but later you will look back and recognize that everything changed here. Some of you may wonder why this exposure involved discomfort at all. Why couldn't things have adjusted quietly? Archangel Michael answers this gently. Some misalignments cannot be corrected without light. Silence preserves distortion. Light dissolves it. The discomfort was not meant to harm you. It was meant to wake you fully. As this truth settles, you may notice a shift in how others treat you. Some will show more respect. Some may pull back. This is not rejection. It is recalibration. People respond differently when they realize you see clearly now. Do not chase explanations. Let alignment speak for itself. There is also a spiritual promotion embedded here. Archangel Michael does not guard thresholds for those who are meant to stay small. You were trusted with this moment because your capacity has expanded. What once overwhelmed you no longer has the same power. You have grown into someone who can hold truth without losing peace. You may feel a renewed sense of ownership over your life. This is healthy. This is restoration. When truth enters, passivity exits. You are no longer waiting for things to happen to you. You are participating in what happens through you. Archangel Michael also wants you to release any lingering fear of consequences. The greatest consequence would have been continued ignorance. The danger has passed. Now, every step forward carries clarity. Even challenges that arise will be navigable, because you are no longer walking blind. There may be moments where you feel quiet sadness over what could have been different. Allow that emotion to pass without judgment. Grief is sometimes the cost of clarity, but do not camp there. What lies ahead is not diminished by what was revealed. It is strengthened by it. Heaven emphasizes that you are not defined by what was hidden from you. You are defined by how you respond once it is revealed. And your response so far had been courageous simply by listening, by staying present, by not turning away. As the days move forward, stay attentive but not tense. Watchful but not fearful. Archangel Michael says vigilance paired with peace is your posture now. You do not need to search for threats. Truth has already surfaced what mattered. You may also notice an increase in inner stillness. That stillness is not emptiness. It is clarity without noise. From that place, your next steps will come naturally. This season marks the end of second-guessing yourself. When truth stands revealed, self-doubt loses its footing. Trust what you know. Trust how you feel when peace confirms it. Archangel Michael stands beside you not as a distant guardian, but as a present witness to your growth. He sees the strength you have gained and the wisdom you are stepping into. You are no longer merely protected. You are positioned. Remain with me, because the next revelation will show how this moment intersects with other people's actions, and why you are being shielded from choices that are not yours to carry. My beloved one, Archangel Michael now shifts the focus from what has been revealed to how you are being shielded moving forward. This is crucial, because many people assume protection only means stopping harm. But true protection also means removing you from burdens that were never assigned to you. What is happening now is not just exposure. It is separation. There are choices being made around you that are not yours to fix, manage, or absorb. Archangel Michael makes this very clear. Once truth is revealed, responsibility returns to its rightful owner. You are no longer required to compensate for someone else's silence, confusion, or misjudgment. This is where peace begins to deepen. You may notice that certain expectations placed on you suddenly dissolve. Things you felt pressured to maintain, explain, or carry will quietly fall away. This is not loss. This is release. Archangel Michael says that when alignment returns, false weight cannot stay attached. There is also a shift happening in how you perceive other people's behavior. Where you once internalized their actions, you will now observe them with clarity. This distance is healthy. It allows you to respond rather than react. Emotional maturity is being activated here, and it will serve you well in the days ahead. Some individuals may attempt to pull you back into old dynamics once they sense the shift. Not out of malice, but out of familiarity. Archangel Michael warns you gently not to re-enter patterns that truth has already dismantled. What you now see clearly cannot be unseen. Honor that clarity. Protection at this stage looks like discernment. You will know when to speak and when silence is wisdom. You will know when to step forward and when to pause. This inner knowing will feel calm, not urgent. That is how you recognize it is heaven-led and not fear-driven. Archangel Michael also highlights that your spiritual senses are sharper now. Pay attention to how your body responds in conversations. Tightness, restlessness, or sudden fatigue can signal misalignment. Ease, steadiness, and clarity often signal truth. This awareness is part of your covering. There is a temptation that sometimes follows revelation, the urge to overcorrect, to explain everything, to make sure everyone understands your perspective. Archangel Michael advises restraint here. Truth does not require constant defense. Let consistency, not explanation, establish your position. As this protection settles, you may feel an unfamiliar sense of freedom. This can feel strange if you are used to carrying responsibility beyond your role. Freedom does not mean detachment from care, it means detachment from control. You are learning to trust order instead of managing chaos. This is also a season where divine timing becomes more visible. Situations that once dragged on indefinitely will now reach conclusions. Not because you forced them, but because alignment accelerates outcomes. When things are in order, they move efficiently. Archangel Michael wants you to know that you are not being isolated. You are being refined. The connections meant to walk with you forward will remain steady. Those meant only for a previous season will naturally loosen. Do not grieve what releases itself. That release is part of your protection. And now, let me speak directly to you as the voice carrying this message. If this word is helping you understand what you are walking through, take a moment to engage right now. Like this video so this message can be carried to others who need it. Share it with someone who feels confused or burdened by responsibility that is not theirs. Comment if you feel clarity settling in your spirit. And if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe and stay connected, because these messages are released for moments like this when discernment matters. Before you continue listening, hold on, because what comes next brings a powerful realization. You are about to understand why this separation is not temporary, and how it prepares you for something that could not have happened without it. Archangel Michael now places emphasis on your future environment. Where you are going requires stability, not entanglement. It requires clear boundaries, not blurred roles. This direction was necessary so you could enter what is next without carrying residue from what is behind. There will be opportunities soon that require decisive clarity. Because you see clearly now, you will recognize which ones align and which ones do not. You will no longer say yes out of guilt or fear. You will say yes out of peace. Protection also means that certain conversations will simply not happen anymore. The drama will not follow you. The confusion will not find you. This is not because others changed first, but because your alignment did. Archangel Michael affirms that you are safe in this transition. Nothing essential will be lost. Everything unnecessary will be removed. That is the promise of order restored. Stay with this message. The next revelation will show how this protection unlocks a new level of authority in your life, one you may not yet realize you are stepping into. Beloved child, Archangel Michael now invites you to recognize something profound that is unfolding within you. This stage is not about what is leaving your life, but about what is rising in its place. Many people misunderstand this phase because it is quiet, internal, and subtle. But make no mistake, this is where authority is formed. You are beginning to stand differently. Not outwardly dramatic, not loud, not forceful, but inwardly settled. Archangel Michael says this is the posture of someone who no longer needs validation to know they are aligned. When truth enters and protection surrounds you, confidence no longer has to announce itself. It simply exists. This authority did not come from control. It came from surrendering illusion. You let go of what you could not manage. You allowed exposure instead of avoidance. And joys reshaped you. Heaven notices when a soul chooses alignment over comfort. You may find that people now listen to you more closely, even when you say less. This is not coincidence. Authority rooted in truth carries weight without effort. Your words will land differently because they are no longer mixed with uncertainty. Archangel Michael reveals that this authority is not meant for dominance, but for stewardship. You are being entrusted with influence, not over people, but over direction. Your decisions will now affect outcomes more directly. This is why clarity had to come first. Influence without clarity becomes damage. Influence with clarity becomes blessing. There is also a shift in how you handle pressure. Where pressure once caused anxiety, it will now prompt discernment. You will pause instead of panic. You will observe instead of react. This calm under pressure is a sign that alignment has taken root. Some of you may notice that situations which once intimidated you no longer do. This does not mean you feel fearless. It means fear no longer governs your actions. Archangel Michael says courage is not the absence of fear, it is obedience in spite of it. You are also being prepared to say no without guilt. This is a significant marker of spiritual maturity. Guilt-driven yeses often lead to resentment and exhaustion. Peace-driven no's lead to longevity and clarity. Heaven supports boundaries that preserve purpose. There may be moments where you question whether you are becoming distant or detached. You are not. You are becoming discerning. Discernment is selective closeness. It allows intimacy without entanglement. This is healthy, not cold. Archangel Michael emphasizes that this authority will soon be tested, not to break you, but to confirm you. Situations will arise that mirror old patterns. This time, your response will be different. A difference is the proof of growth. Do not be surprised if you feel a stronger pull toward solitude at times. Solitude is not isolation. It is recalibration. Authority matures in stillness. The noise falls away so direction can sharpen. Heaven also wants you to understand that with authority comes responsibility, but not overwhelm. You are not being asked to carry the world. You are being asked to carry truth with integrity. That is manageable. That is sustainable. You may also feel an increased sensitivity to misalignment. Situations that once felt tolerable may now feel draining. This is not intolerance, it is refinement. As your alignment sharpens, your tolerance for distortion decreases. Archangel Michael reassures you that you are not becoming rigid. You are becoming rooted. Roots allow flexibility without collapse. This grounding will allow you to bend without breaking in future seasons. There is a leadership aspect to this authority, even if you do not see yourself as a leader. Leadership does not always mean visibility. Sometimes it means modeling peace, clarity, and integrity quietly. Others learn from watching how you move. You may soon find yourself in conversations where others seek your perspective. Do not rush to give advice. Speak only when clarity prompts you. Silence is also a form of wisdom when it is intentional. Archangel Michael also reveals that this authority is a shield. It repels chaos without confrontation. It redirects confusion without explanation. This is why peace has become your indicator. If peace leaves, something is misaligned. If peace remains, you are standing correctly. You are entering a season where your inner life will matter more than your outer circumstances. Stability will come from within, not from predictable environments. This makes you resilient. Do not underestimate how far you have come. The very fact that you are still listening, still open, still receptive shows growth. Many would have shut down at the first sign of discomfort. You stayed present. Archangel Michael stands beside you as a witness to this transition. He does not rush it. Authority formed too quickly fractures. Authority formed through truth endured. Remain attentive. The next message will reveal how this authority intersects with a blessing that is already in motion, and why what is coming could only arrive after this transformation. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now opens a sacred layer of this message that many overlook, because it does not announce itself loudly. This is the layer of blessing already in motion. Not a blessing you must chase, earn, or force, but one that has been quietly moving toward you while correction, exposure, and alignment were taking place. Heaven does not release blessing into disorder. That is why truth had to come first. That is why separation had to occur. That is why authority had to rise within you. And now, the ground is ready. What is approaching you next is not random opportunity. It is provision aligned with obedience. Archangel Michael reveals that this blessing is connected to stability. It touches your home, your peace, and your future rhythm of life. Some of you will feel this as emotional relief. Others will experience it as financial easing, resolved tension, or renewed confidence in decisions that once felt risky. However it manifests, it carries one signature mark. It will not bring anxiety with it. This blessing does not rush in like chaos. It settles. It confirms. It stays. You may notice that doors begin to open without struggle. Conversations resolve faster. Elation. This is not because circumstances magically improve overnight, but because resistance has been removed. When alignment returns, blessing no longer meets obstruction. Archangel Michael also shows that this blessing has a protective quality. It is not only adding something new, it is shielding what already exists. Peace will become harder to disturb. Clarity will be harder to confuse. You will not feel the need to explain yourself constantly. Stability will speak for itself. There is also a sense of divine validation here. Not public applause, but inner assurance. You will know you did the right thing, even if it was uncomfortable. That knowing will anchor you when opinions fluctuate. Some of you may have wondered if obedience would cost you too much. Archangel Michael answers that concern now. Obedience does cost. but it never costs more than disobedience. What you released was temporary discomfort. What you are receiving is lasting order. His blessing also carries momentum. Once it arrives, it triggers additional alignment. One yes leads to another. One resolved issue clears space for progress elsewhere. This is how heaven multiplies outcomes quietly. Archangel Michael wants you to remain attentive but not tense. Blessing is not fragile. You do not need to guard it anxiously. Simply remain aligned. Peace will tell you if something drifts. There is a call here to gratitude, not as a performance, but as recognition. Gratitude anchors blessing. It keeps the heart open and the posture humble. When gratitude flows, increase follows naturally. And now hear this carefully. This blessing is not only for you. It will touch others connected to you. Your alignment creates safety for those within your influence. This is why heaven invested so much attention into this moment. The ripple effect matters. Before we move forward, Archangel Michael releases a sacred activation. If this message is resonating deeply with your spirit, respond in faith. Type "I receive divine order" in the comments right now. Blessing code 6381 has just been activated over your life. And now, let this moment transition naturally. I hear the Spirit say, this word did not stop with you. Just as order entered your house, light must enter other homes that are still waiting in confusion. When you support this mission, you are sowing into souls who have not yet heard heaven's warning or heaven's promise. This is me speaking directly to you. Your obedience can become someone else's breakthrough. As you give through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link placed in the description, you are not donating, you are responding to a divine invitation. I declare that every seed released here opens doors of provision, protection, and peace over your household. Do not hesitate. Act while the stirring is alive. Heaven honors swift obedience. As you remain here, stay open. The next revelation will explain how to steward this blessing wisely, so that what arrives does not fade, but multiplies in the season ahead. Beloved one, Archangel Michael now turns your attention to stewardship, because blessing that is not stewarded can slowly lose its impact. What has begun to arrive in your life is not fragile, but it is intentional. Heaven releases with purpose, and purpose requires awareness. This is the stage where many people unknowingly drift, not because they disobey, but because they stop being attentive. The blessing moving toward you is meant to settle into your life as a new normal, not as a temporary high. That is why Archangel Michael emphasizes wisdom now rather than excitement. Excitement fades quickly, but wisdom sustains what arrives. You are being taught how to live from alignment, not just visit it. You may notice that your desires are subtly changing. Things that once felt urgent may now feel optional. Things that once seemed small may now feel essential. This shift is not loss of passion. It is refinement of focus. When clarity increases, distractions lose their appeal. Archangel Michael says this is the season to move deliberately, not solely out of fear, but intentionally out of understanding. Right decisions often come from anxiety. Aligned decisions come from peace. You are now equipped to tell the difference. There may be invitations, opportunities, or requests that appear appealing on the surface but do not carry peace underneath. You are not obligated to say yes simply because something is available. Availability does not equal assignment. Discernment will help you choose what aligns with the blessing you are stewarding. This is also a time to guard your inner dialogue. Blessing often attracts comparison. You may look around and wonder how others are doing, whether you are ahead or behind, whether this should look different by now. Archangel Michael cautions against this. Comparison pulls attention away from stewardship. Your path is calibrated specifically for you. You may also feel a desire to explain your journey to others. Be selective. Not everyone needs access to your process. Some people need only to see the fruit. Oversharing can drain clarity. Silence, when chosen wisely, protects momentum. Archangel Michael reveals that consistency will now matter more than intensity. Small aligned actions repeated over time will produce more stability than dramatic gestures fueled by emotion. Do not underestimate the power of steady obedience. There is also an invitation here to rest. Stewardship does not mean constant vigilance. It means trust paired with awareness. Rest allows integration. It allows the blessing to root itself deeper into your life. Exhaustion weakens discernment. Rest sharpens it. You may notice that your reactions to stressors are changing. What once triggered worry may now prompt problem solving. This is evidence that alignment is not just spiritual, it is practical. Your nervous system is adjusting to peace. Archangel Michael also wants you to recognize that stewardship includes joy. Joy is not distraction from purpose, it is fuel for it. Allow yourself to enjoy moments of calm, laughter, and simplicity. These are not interruptions. They are signs of health. As you steward this blessing, there may be moments where old patterns attempt to resurface. Old fears, old habits, old ways of thinking may knock softly. Do not panic. Awareness is enough. Gently choose alignment again. Repetition strengthens the new pathways. Heaven does not expect perfection from you. It expects honesty and responsiveness. If something feels off, pause. Realign. Continue. That rhythm will sustain you. Archangel Michael also highlights the importance of environment. Pay attention to what you allow around you. Conversations, media, influences. Alignment is easier to maintain in supportive environments. This is not about isolation, but about intentional exposure. You may also find that your intuition becomes a reliable guide in daily matters. Choices about time, energy, and priorities will feel clearer. Trust this. Discernment grows through use. There is a quiet confidence emerging in you now. Not the kind that needs affirmation, but the kind that knows when to move and when to wait. This confidence will protect the blessing from impulsive decisions. Archangel Michael affirms that what you are stewarding now will expand in the right season. Expansion follows stability. Growth follows order. You are not behind. You are being established. Remain attentive, but remain gentle with yourself. Stewardship is a relationship, not a performance. You walk with heaven, not ahead of it. Stay with this message. The next revelation will speak directly to how your voice and influence will be used soon, and why what you carry now will begin to affect others more than you expect. My beloved one, Archangel Michael now brings your attention to your voice, because something significant is changing in how it carries weight. This is not about volume or visibility. It is about resonance. What you speak, decide, and affirm in this season will move farther than it used to, even when you are not trying to influence anything at all. You are entering a phase where your words align more closely with truth, and when words align with truth, they carry authority. Archangel Michael says this is why silence was refined in you first. Before your voice could carry impact, it had to be purified from fear, people-pleasing, and over-explaining. Now, when you speak, there is less noise behind it. You may notice that people respond differently to you. They may pause longer after you speak. They may take your words more seriously. Some may even feel unsettled without knowing why. This is not intimidation. This is conviction meeting clarity. Truth recognizes truth. This does not mean you are called to speak more. In fact, you may speak less. But when you do, it will matter. Archangel Michael emphasizes that discernment now governs your expression. You will know when to speak and when to remain quiet, and both will be equally powerful. There is also a shift in how you speak to yourself. Inner dialogue matters deeply in this season. Words spoken inwardly shape direction just as much as words spoken outwardly. Notice when your inner language becomes gentler, clearer, and more grounded. That is alignment taking root. Archangel Michael reveals that your voice will soon be needed in a specific situation. Not to argue, not to convince, but to clarify. You will bring perspective where confusion exists simply by being steady. This moment will confirm everything you have been learning. Do not rehearse this moment. Preparedness here comes from presence, not planning. When the time arrives, you will know what to say. Trust that. Heaven does not prompt without provision. There may also be moments where restraint is required. You will see misinformation, misinterpretation, or emotional reactions unfolding around you. Not every moment requires your correction. Wisdom chooses timing. Silence at the right moment protects influence for the moment that truly matters. Archangel Michael also speaks about integrity of speech. Avoid exaggeration. Avoid minimizing truth to keep peace. Speak clearly, simply, and honestly. Clean speech carries spiritual weight. As this influence grows, guard against the temptation to explain yourself repeatedly. Explanation often comes from insecurity. Alignment does not need constant clarification. Those meant to understand will. Those who do not are not your assignment. And now, let me speak to you directly as the one delivering this message. If this word is helping you understand the season you are in, take a moment right now to like this video so it can reach others who need clarity. Share it with someone who is finding their voice again. Leave a comment if you feel this message strengthening your discernment. And if you are not yet subscribed, subscribe and stay connected, because these messages are released for moments when direction matters. Before you continue listening, pause with me for a second, because what comes next will bring an unexpected realization about timing and confirmation that many people miss if they are not attentive. Archangel Michael now highlights confirmation. Confirmation will not come as loud signs or dramatic events. It will come as alignment across different areas of your life. Conversations will echo the same truth. Opportunities will reflect the same direction. Inner peace will match external movement. This convergence is how you will know you are on the right path. You may also notice resistance decreasing. Things that once required effort may now flow more easily. This does not mean challenges disappear, but resistance no longer drains you. Forward places friction. There is also a refining happening in your listening. You will become quicker to recognize what is not aligned, even when it sounds reasonable. This discernment will save you time, energy, and emotional investment. Archangel Michael reminds you not to rush visibility. Influence grows best when rooted. What is being established now will support future expansion without collapse. This is not delay. This is foundation. You may feel an urge to step into new spaces or roles. Evaluate them through peace, not excitement. Peace will remain even when challenges appear. Excitement fades quickly. Choose what stays peaceful. There is a quiet confidence now settling into your decisions. This confidence does not argue. It does not compete. It does not perform. It simply moves forward when prompted. Archangel Michael assures you that you are not missing anything meant for you. What is yours will recognize you. You do not need to chase alignment. Alignment meets you where obedience stands. Stay present. The next revelation will bring everything together, showing how this journey completes a cycle and opens a new one, and why what you have walked through could not have ended any other way. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now brings you to the edge of completion, because every divine process moves in cycles, and this one is preparing to close with understanding. What you have walked through was not a random series of events. It was a carefully guided sequence designed to return you to alignment without breaking you. Now you are able to see the pattern, even if only partially. This phase is about integration. Everything you learned, felt, released, and received must now settle into wisdom. Wisdom is different from information. Information tells you what happened. Wisdom teaches you how to live differently because of it. Archangel Michael says this is where many people rush, but you are being invited to move with awareness. You may notice moments where memories surface unexpectedly. Past conversations, decisions, where emotions may rise without warning. Do not interpret this as regression. This is integration. Your mind and spirit are reorganizing stored experiences under new understanding. What once confused you is now finding its place. There is also a gentle invitation here to self-compassion. You did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Archangel Michael emphasizes this because self-judgment can quietly undo clarity. Forgive your past self for what they could not see yet. That forgiveness seals the work that has been done. As this cycle closes, you may feel a subtle sense of neutrality toward things that once triggered strong emotion. This does not mean you no longer care. It means those things no longer control you. Emotional neutrality is a sign of healing, not indifference. Archangel Michael also reveals that this closure creates space. Space is often misunderstood. People fear it because it feels like emptiness. But space is potential. It is where new direction can form without resistance. Do not rush to fill it. Let it remain open long enough for clarity to shape what comes next. You may notice that your intuition becomes quieter but more precise. Instead of constant signals, you receive fewer, clearer impressions. This is refinement. When noise reduces, accuracy increases. There is also a shift in how you define safety. Safety is no longer tied to control or predictability. It is tied to alignment. You trust yourself more now. You trust discernment more than reassurance. That trust is earned, not imagined. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this journey did not end because you arrived at perfection. It ends because you arrived at readiness. Readiness to move forward without repeating old cycles. Readiness to choose differently without fear. Readiness to stand in truth without needing approval. Some of you may feel a quiet grief as this chapter closes. Grief does not always mean loss. Sometimes it means release of identity. You are letting go of a version of yourself that survived, so a version that lives can emerge. Honor that transition gently. You may also sense anticipation without clear detail. That is normal. Heaven often withholds specifics so trust can deepen. You do not need the full picture to take the next step. You only need alignment. Direction will clarify as movement begins. Archangel Michael emphasizes that nothing from this season was wasted. Even moments that felt confusing or uncomfortable contributed to your discernment. Wisdom rarely comes from ease alone. It comes from reflection after truth. As this cycle completes, notice how your energy stabilizes. You may feel less reactive, less scattered, more centered. This centeredness is not emotional numbness. It is grounded awareness. There is also an invitation here to mark this closure intentionally. Not with ceremony, but with acknowledgement. Quietly recognize that something has ended. Closure brings authority. When you acknowledge an ending, you prevent it from reopening unnecessarily. Archangel Michael stands with you as a witness to this completion. He does not rush you forward. He allows you to arrive fully before moving on. This respect is part of your protection. You may find that conversations now naturally shift toward the future instead of revisiting the past. This is a sign that your inner posture has changed. You are no longer oriented toward what was, but toward what can be. There is also a deepening trust in divine timing. You no longer question delays the same way. You understand now that timing carries wisdom. What arrives late or early can both disrupt purpose. Alignment arrives on time. Archangel Michael affirms that you are prepared for what comes next, even if it remains unnamed. Prepared does not mean rehearsed. It means rooted. You are rooted now. As you rest in this understanding, allow gratitude to surface naturally. Gratitude not just for what was gained, but for what was prevented. Many things did not happen because of this intervention. That protection matters. Remain present. The final message will bring sealing, blessing, and clear direction for how to step into what opens next. This journey is about to complete, and a new one is ready to begin. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now stands before you not with warning, not with correction, but with sealing. This is the moment where everything you have heard, processed, released, and received is brought into divine order. What began with urgency now concludes with authority and peace. This is not an ending filled with uncertainty. This is a completion that unlocks a beginning. Archangel Michael says the cycle is closed. Not paused. Not delayed. Pause. What was hidden hath been revealed. What was misaligned hath been corrected. What was heavy has been lifted. And what was prepared in silence is now ready to unfold openly. You are not stepping forward as the same person who first heard this message. You are stepping forward clarified, protected, and positioned. There is a calm settling over you now, even as you listen. That calm is not emotional. It is spiritual confirmation. Heaven does not seal with confusion. It seals with peace. This peace is your evidence that alignment has been restored. You do not need further proof. Peace is the proof. Archangel Michael places emphasis on your house one final time. He says the atmosphere has shifted. What once felt uncertain now feels grounded. What once felt tense now feels lighter. This is not temporary. This is the result of truth entering and staying. Your house is no longer a place of question marks. It is becoming a place of clarity and rest. You may not see every external result immediately, but the internal order has already taken hold. And internal order always produces external change in time. Be patient with the unfolding. Seeds grow underground before they ever appear above the surface. Archangel Michael also speaks about protection going forward. The kind of confusion you experienced before will not return in the same way. You have grown past it. Discernment now stands guard. Boundaries are active. Authority is established. You are not going backward. There is also a reassurance here about the future. You will not be caught off guard the same way again. Not because nothing unexpected will happen, but because you now recognize signals earlier. Awareness has increased. Wisdom has matured. You are not easily misled anymore. Archangel Michael declares that obedience has been counted. The moment you chose to open instead of ignore, something shifted in the unseen. A decision matters more than you know. Many blessings are not released because people delay response. You responded. That response carries weight. As you move forward, do not diminish what you have walked through. Do not say it was small or insignificant. Heaven does not intervene lightly. This mattered. You matter. Your alignment mattered. You are now entering a season where peace and progress walk together. One will not cancel the other. You will move forward without losing rest. You will grow without losing stability. That balance is a gift. Archangel Michael asks you to remember one thing above all else. When clarity comes, honor it. When peace confirms, trust it. You do not need to revisit what has been settled. Courier has authority. Before this message fully seals, Archangel Michael releases a final activation. If you receive this word and accept what has been completed, respond now. Type "I walk in divine order" in the comments as an act of agreement. Blessing code 8429 is now sealed over your life. And now, let this final moment flow naturally into purpose. I hear the Spirit say, what was open for you must now open for others. This message did not exist for entertainment. It exists for alignment, protection, and awakening. When you support this mission through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a platform. You are partnering with Heaven's Reach. This is me speaking directly to you. Your support becomes a vessel that carries truth into homes still waiting for clarity. As you give, I declare a blessing over your house, your decisions, and your future seasons. Let your action today be prophetic. Do not delay obedience. Release, and watch heaven respond. Archangel Michael now steps back, not because his work is finished, but because yours is beginning. Walk forward with confidence. What was meant to trouble you has been resolved. What was meant to reach you has arrived. And what is meant to grow from here will unfold in divine order.